Mr. President, today our friends across the aisle have decided to hold up Senate committee meetings because the Democrats object to the dismissal of James Comey from the FBI. They've chosen to play politics and prevent scheduled hearings from occurring. And that means that everyone who has taken time to fly to Washington, D.C. to testify before Congress per our request and to update us on important issues that face the nation will not be heard. In fact, one of those scheduled hearings is in the Energy and Natural Resources Subcommittee on Water and Power, of which I'm a member. This hearing was going to investigate the dry Redwater and the Musselshell-Judith rural water systems. This is a critically important issue to Montana. Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you what this was going to focus on, the hearing. It was going to focus on water from Circle, Montana. These are water samples from different families in the Circle, Montana area. This is from the Aronson's tap. This yellow tinted water here is from the Goods tap. This cloudy sample here is from the Hanses tap. These are all from Circle. This is from the Carlson's tap. You probably can't see it, perhaps on the camera and on the floor, but there's particulate here floating, something you wouldn't want to drink. This is water from the Roseanne's tap. These samples came from a small town in eastern Montana, Circle, Montana, and the image here to my left is from Roundup, Montana. This unacceptably unclean tap water is in the homes of Montanans and North Dakotans right now as we speak. In fact, the mayor of Harleton, Montana, this is a town about 1,000 in rural central Montana, he is here today to testify. In fact, I met with him just yesterday. In fact, he came to our Montana coffee this morning. He spent over $1,000 on a flight. He spent almost $600 on hotel accommodations, not to mention the cost of other incidentals. And now the Democrats won't let him speak. Why? As the chairman of the Senate Western Caucus, it is shameful that other witnesses have flown and spent thousands of dollars to prevent improving water quality in our states. The Arizona witness, for example, spent $2,400 in 3 days out of the office to come back and testify today. The North Dakota witness spent $1,300. Yes, the FBI needs to regain the trust of the American people. In fact, Senator Schumer on November 2nd said, and I quote, "I do not have confidence in Comey any longer." And on that very same day, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi said, and I quote, "Maybe he's not in the right job." But this water, you see these samples in front of me, has nothing to do with the FBI. There are over 36,000 Americans spread across Montana and North Dakota without access to clean water. I can tell you, if the mayor of Flint, Michigan flew here to testify about the quality and challenges facing their water system, no one would have blocked that hearing. Frankly, this is just another sign of the marginalization for rural Montana and rural America. I was sent here to fight for rural Montana, to stand for rural America, and that is what I will continue to do. This hearing needs to happen today. Mr. President, I have a request for the Energy Committee to meet at 2:30 today, and I ask unanimous consent that the committee be allowed to meet.
Is there objection?
Mr. President.
The senator from Hawaii.
Mr. President, reserving the right to object. These are not usual times, and representing a state like Hawaii, where, of course, we care about access to clean water. So with all respect to my colleague from Montana, we understand the importance of this issue to the people of your state. However, as I said, these are very unusual times, and the President's decision to fire FBI Director James Comey in this manner, under this pretext, and at this time, is also a total disservice to the American people. And this attempt intended to derail and disrupt the FBI's ongoing investigation into Russia's attempt to disrupt or interfere with our democracy, and the Trump team's ties to those attempts should be a matter of national concern, should not be a Republican or Democratic concern. So we need a bipartisan call for a special prosecutor who will conduct an impartial, thorough investigation untainted by political considerations. And therefore, Mr. President, I object.
Objection is heard.
Mr. President, if I could respond to my colleague from Hawaii. The folks who have been derailed today are the men and women who've traveled thousands of miles to be here from very small communities across our country. They've taken time away from work and their families to be here to show our committees what's going on in rural America and the unacceptable quality of water. Water should be, it's a basic need. And to think we have water samples here that I think would be shocking to most members here in this body. I'm saddened to see that the Democrats are going to derail these hearings this afternoon. Yes, let's have the fight about the FBI and the firing of Comey. We can have a good spirited debate about that. But why are we preventing these folks from rural America who have traveled 1,000 miles to testify here today at our request? Thank you, Mr. President. I yield back my time.